Hi everybody, my name is Noah Barfield and welcome to Writer's Corner. I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm not dead. Which isn't to say that I've been taking it easy. Oh baby, no. I've been working and climbing and digging and swimming and punching my way through every adjective you can think of. That's a bear! Would it be fair to say that I've been struggling when there are those in this world who can go days without getting clean food or drinking water? Yes. Yes, it is. House arrest is a prison too! But seriously, no, I've actually been fine. I'll explain the 2-month gap later, probably next week. Right now, I want to talk about struggling. You, as a writer with characters that you love to hate, should be very familiar with this. For many people, getting up and going through their day can be a struggle. It can be a temporary one, or for those in very unfortunate circumstances, these things can be a little more permanent. And even though many writers may not have to suffer for their work, many will still have to struggle with and for it. It may be nothing serious, in fact I hope it's not, but there will probably be a time in your writing career where you will have to work harder. Despite all of your innate abilities and unique specialties, you'll have to work harder for what you want to achieve. So, I'd like to share some of my greatest struggles as a writer, offer my own take on the writer struggle, and open up the floor to all of you to share your experiences as well. Now, for the sake of time and organization, I'm going to break this up into the 3 categories of struggle. We'll start with the easiest one, physical. Oh man, my body's just shaking thinking about it. Much better. Now, many people don't think of any physical struggles whenever it comes to being a writer, for good reason. Oh, woe is me. I have to sit in a chair all day from the comfort of my own home while I work. I know. Yet for me, it's this sedentary lifestyle that oftentimes gets in the way, and I find most physically challenging and infuriating. I work hard to stay in shape and to look physically fit, but sometimes I find it difficult to motivate myself to go to the gym or move at all. When the entirety of your job can be done from the comfort of your own home in your bed, what's the point? And it's not like anybody would care but me, because as long as I still ate right and wasn't grossly overweight, Elizabeth, my family, friends, or anybody I met would be okay with it. So there's a struggle in that for me, because I have to balance my expectations of my physique with the requirements for my job. Most days I go through the debate of, is it worth it to spend time at the gym when I could be working instead? And of course, while we're talking about thinking, there's no better time than now to move on to the mental challenge here. Now this is where a lot of people expect writers to struggle and fail and be general listless awful creatures. But we tend to create things ranging from the brilliant and extraordinary to the dark and sinister. And one mind can do both very well. And I think that mental flexibility can take its toll on writers. Just like I'm my own biggest critic, I find my largest mental struggle to be my own expectations. I think I should be writing this way, I should be acting this way, I should be creating a certain amount of content, and if it doesn't meet up with what I think, then it must be exterminated with extreme prejudice. I also worry about the perceptions others have of me because of my writing. Will my family think I'm a psycho because of what I wrote? Will my girlfriend think I prefer the type of women I write about than her? The answer is no. Or will strangers expect constant energy and sarcasm dripping from every syllable from me? I struggle with the idea of writing myself into a corner, and since this is reality and don't let anybody tell you different, they're wrong, I can't use convenient loopholes or exploit powers just to get out of it. That being said, I don't really worry about the perceptions or expectations my family, Elizabeth, or friends have of me very often, because I don't really think about it that much. It doesn't come up very often unless I just really sit down and think about it or I'm in a bad mood, which is why I read a lot of books and I try to do as little thinking as possible, despite what my brain tries to whisper in little lies to me sometimes. Which brings us to the final challenge here, emotional struggling. I don't think that I differ from the majority of writers whenever it comes to emotional struggling. You know, just sitting there writing, gazing blankly at the screen or the pen and paper until you slowly start to slump out of your chair from the sheer exhaustion of your psyche taking its weight on you and the world crushing you under the weight of your own vast amounts of oceanic depression. I mean, other than that, Ugh. I'm not really much different. Really though, I only occasionally deal with sadness or apathy, as well as a sometimes occasional lack of confidence or general listlessness that I can feel if I've hit a particularly difficult bout of writer's block. My largest emotional struggle though is probably dealing with the general and acute apathy that I feel at different times. Sometimes I feel colorless and mute, like I'm just kind of listing through everything and I have very little motivation to work. Other times I'm perfectly motivated and personally ready to go, and I don't feel lethargic or anything of the sort, but I'm dealing with acute social apathy. Which means that whenever I'm dealing with that, what I'm saying and also what other people are telling me and what I'm hearing isn't emotionally registering with me, and it's not creating any link or attachment whatsoever. And it's not just with people, it's also any sort of perceived social or emotional relationship with characters or objects of the sort. So whether it's TV, books, or anything like that, I just get really blank internally and externally. I'm not zoning out, I'm just not computing. In my opinion, this makes me a great author. It allows me to bring up emotions as I need them without getting weighted down by the emotional significance of the attachment to them concerning myself. However, whenever it comes to relationships, oh, completely different story. Whenever you're trying to make collaborations or you have relationships with people, whether those are platonic or otherwise, it can be difficult to maintain that whenever you regularly, or at least semi-regularly, don't feel emotional connection. And not in like a creepy serial killer way, you're just not there. You're just not on their level. Which is one of the reasons why I struggle with and against it. Because if all I have is writing and everything else crumbles around me due to my own abuse or neglect, then I'm going to have a much larger emotional problem than just apathy. Alright, Noah, I think that's enough to the audience. We're done with that, okay? I promise. And despite what I've said, I honestly don't think most struggles are bad. They give us a reason to try and persist against what life throws at us, whether that's internally or externally. There's nothing wrong with coming up against a struggle or an obstacle and having to push yourself harder to get past it. If you are dealing with daily struggles that seem to keep coming wave after wave after wave, it can be rough and draining. Believe me, I understand. What helps me is to write down a list, just a bullet point little one will do. And then I try and problem solve. For me, whenever I talk with others about these things, whenever I talk to my girlfriend or friends, anything like that, I don't feel like it helps me. It's not therapeutic because I just feel like I'm complaining, and I don't feel like anything gets done because now I just feel guilty. So instead, I'll make a list of what I should work on, and I have to make a list of each thing that I need to deal with and fix. After I make that, I'll do some reading, watch some TV, sleep on it, and then start first thing in the morning after I do my exercise, or maybe even a little bit beforehand, so I can kind of be meditating on that while I'm working out. Of course, if you are dealing with any severe mental, emotional, or physical struggles, then just writing down a list may not be the best thing for you, and you may want to seek aid or assistance in some way. But I would very much like to know what kinds of struggles you deal with when it comes to your creative process. Please let me know on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Reddit, or leave a comment below. You can even drop in a video response if you have a channel or you decide to make one. You can also share your story with the hashtag WriterStruggles. And I plan on probably doing that in the future too, because we're a little community, and I hope that while we share with each other, we can also lend each other a helping hand. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this has been helpful in terms of kind of understanding what maybe one of your writer friends will be dealing with, and also give you the opportunity to share your writing struggles as well, and to think about some of the ones that writers may struggle with in general, whether that's listlessness, depression, anxiety, perceptions that others have, or just feeling like you're kind of a psycho for killing your character in such an extreme way. Either way, I hope you enjoyed it, and that you will please leave a like, comment, subscribe, ring and shake that bell like it owes you some major amounts of character development, and I'll be back with a new video next week. Until then, see ya!